So again, like yesterday, we're working on the random pattern Damascus. So I'm heating it up in the forge right now. I started this forge about 30 minutes before. I turned on the forge about 20 minutes before I started the stream anyway. So we're working on heating that up. So that, yeah, we're working on heating that up. Flux, if you didn't know. Basically what it does is it puts a layer of flux on the outside of the billet so that no oxygen can get in. It is very important. Hey Ryan, I see you're back on. How are you? Yeah, I wasn't planning on streaming today, but I ended up doing it anyway. We're working on the same thing we were working on yesterday. I noticed yesterday a few like it didn't quite weld all the way through to the very center, so that's what we're working on. I will be right back. I have to go grab something. I'm back. You can see the billet is definitely heating up. Yeah, I welded a big piece of rebar to the end so that I could hold it because yesterday I had just a little piece of rebar sticking off the end of it, and that was kind of hard to hold with the tongs. Yes, Mr. Ryan, I am finishing yesterday's materials. Well, maybe not finishing. I guess just we'll see however far it ends up getting. But yes, I am working on the same stuff. As you can see. Same stuff as yesterday. That random pattern, Damascus, possibly San Mai. But again, we gotta wait for it to heat up. all know, that takes a very long time. Usually I would listen to music while like doing something, but due to copyright reasons, I can't exactly do that. Not out loud anyway, because I don't want to accidentally like play something that's copyrighted. I'm kind of testing out the live stream for today. On Wednesdays, I've had really good luck from like 12 to 2 to 3. So I'm testing out the live stream today. It's not Wednesday, but it's about the same time. I want to see if it's anything specific about Wednesday or specific about the time. Possibly. Mainly upgrade, what's up? How far did I get yesterday? This is the same blade. Basically as far as you guys saw. I stopped right after the first few forge welds because I noticed like almost everybody dropped off the stream at about something around 2:30 to 3. So, or about something around 2 to 3. Almost everyone dropped off the stream. So I stopped because it wasn't worth it to stream. But we're basically picking up from where we left off yesterday, which was not really forged out, but basically initial forge welds weld together. So it's about the same shape. It's heating up. It's pretty hot in there. I started preheating the forge this time and putting the billet in the forge like 20 minutes before I even started the live stream, which is going to make it where you guys have to wait less long. Going to turn it over. I don't know if that does anything, but also I welded a big piece of rebar to the very end so I can just pick it up so that it is easier to hold. So I don't have to mess with tongs. Can't wait to see this one done. Yes, I can't wait either. I've never tried a San Mai, and I've really never tried very much Damascus with very many layers. I've done like 2 Damascus and like 1 sort of kind of Damascus, but they've all had a few, very few, little bit of layers, not a lot. Coffee. Do you guys drink coffee? I drink coffee. I like coffee. I'm not addicted to it. I could easily live without it, but I do enjoy it. I think it's getting kind of close, but I really, really want it to be like all the way. One moment, I'm trying to figure something out. There we go. I do really want it to be. What am I saying? Give me a moment to like structure words in my head right now. English is not. Words are my second language. I think it's almost hot enough, but I want to make sure that there's enough heat on the inside, because last time I could tell that there wasn't, when I finished up last time, I could tell that the very core of it, the very inside, was not fully welded together. So I need to get it really, really super hot, and then I need to smash it like really hard, because I need to get those inside layers actually welded together, not just the outside layers. All the outside layers are welded together, and they seem pretty properly welded. We put in basically every precaution to keep it from doing anything bad, so there should be no way scale could form up in there. So if we just keep being careful, we should be safe. Hopefully, I hope. This stream is definitely going off to a little bit of a slower start, but that's not bad. It's not a bad start yet. I guess. We can just sit here until it's ready. When I welded that rebar on this time, did a much better job than I did last time, but this time it wasn't on the live stream, so maybe the live stream was the one that was messing me up. I actually have a question. While we're waiting for this forge to heat up, not for the forge, the metal to heat up in the forge, what's one of your guys' favorite blacksmiths? Like, what's your favorite blacksmith you've seen on YouTube? I guess I'll answer that question myself. My favorite blacksmith that I've seen is honestly Alex Steele. Alex? I don't know. I think Alex Steele is really kind of more enjoyable to watch and fun because he's kind of funny, I guess. It's kind of fun. He just kind of experiments with metals and it's fun. Probably after that it would be like Kyle Royer or something. Super precision, very cool, very beautiful blades. And then I don't know if this one's less common. He's still a pretty common one, but Blackbeard Projects. He's got about 2 million subscribers. So that was also like the first blacksmith I've ever seen on YouTube. So those are like my top 3: Alex Steele, Kyle Royer, and like Blackbeard Projects. So those are my top 3. I'd be interested in hearing what you guys' like top blacksmith is or something like that. Let me check the forge. About 12:40 will be time to take it out. Also, I think the camera lens is dirty. We have 795 subscribers on this channel. So like, we are like this close, like 5 away from 800, which would actually be really, really cool if we were to hit that count. I think I'm gonna lean a little heavier on the live streams. I've only done a few live streams and they've been pretty spaced apart, except for obviously I just did one yesterday and I'm doing another one today. But like, oh, that's a lot of reactions. Yeah, I think live streams seem to usually turn out pretty well, especially on like Wednesdays, like 12 to 3, 12 to 2. So I'm probably going to end up doing a lot more, not a lot, but some more live streams than I do now usually, because I think it's a pretty good way to grow your channel. Get something to cover my arms, because the scale that comes off of this is extremely hot. So I'm gonna be back to grab something, but meantime I'm gonna stick you in the forge with the knife or Damascus. There we go. It's still way zoomed in. Got a very rowdy jacket. As you can see, it's kind of falling apart. But it keeps the sparks off my arms. Not sparks, scale. I think we're getting close, y'all. Over 500,000 degrees? Nope. It's not that hot. Brian, I'm gonna guess it's probably like 23, 2400 degrees or something like that. That one worked. I don't know exactly how much that you were able to see, but it was a lot of scale that went everywhere. I'm probably going to do that 3 times, so 2 more times probably, I would assume. And then we'll start forging it out into a bar, cut it into shape, and do the San Mai thing. So where we take the 2 halves, stack them on top of each other, but put a carbon steel block in between the 2. That's at least what we're going to go for, but we got to get it stretched out without shredding it to pieces first. I put this is borax, just regular laundry detergent borax that you can use for like laundry detergent. Super cheap stuff. But basically, what it does is when I put it on the billet, the borax is basically when you put it on your billet, it melts down. It's very dirty, so like it melts down and leaves a glossy layer on the outside, which makes it so no oxygen can get in. If oxygen can get in between the layers of your billet, scale will form, and when scale forms, you can no longer stick it together, and you won't get proper forge welds. So yeah, that's what I'm at. This hammerhead shakes and is working its way to coming off. Like it. It's just so that you get good welds. This is a lot to forge out. Welded on the inside, but I really want to try to make sure it's extra welded, so I want to do that a couple more times and just like put a lot of force into it. I'm thinking about starting to make my press soon, so I really want to have a forge press this year. So maybe that's a dream that will not happen this year, but like my goal is to get a press by this year, and I'm going to build a press most likely, so of buying a $9,000, $8,000 press, whatever it is from like Coal Iron Works. They have really good presses, but they're just outside of my price range. On the inside of the forge. Like when it's hot, it melts the ceramic fiber blankets or degrades it or does something, and then the fire bricks, they start melting when it gets on, and once it gets on there. So I need to find something other than borax because it's like destroys the inside of my forge. Which is obviously not ideal. Park Bolts 24, hey, what's up? Good to see you on the stream. Waiting on the billet and the forge to heat up. Probably stream till like 2 o'clock, which will give us about an hour and 15 minutes. Hour 15 on about. So we'll see how, basically once the people start dropping off of the stream, most likely. So we'll see how far we can get in that time. Unlike yesterday, we're actually starting off in the forging process rather than starting off by cutting, cleaning, welding, and then heating up the billet. So it should be a lot more faster, quick paced. Should be faster paced now. But then again, something could go horribly wrong. Let's hope that doesn't happen though. guys can ask questions or whatever while waiting for the forge. I know sometimes sitting on a live stream it's hard to come up with something to say, but I can't think of anything to say stuff right now, so. How hot is the propane hose that goes to the forge supposed to get? I mean, it must be pretty heat durable because it sits right beside the forge, but like, how hot is it supposed to get? Okay. It's going together, I guess. I have some doubts about the edges. Liking the stream. There we go. Well, forgot to reposition the camera. We got some of it done. I am slightly skeptical about some of the stuff I saw on the edge there. I guess do that whole thing again, but I really hope I just got to the very center. I can grind off the outside layer. But I just really need the inside center to be solid piece. And actually, so if it's delaminated in areas, it doesn't really matter all that much since it's a San Mai. It's just going to be on the sides of the blade. It's not going to be structural, as the structural comes from the actual carbide seal in the core of the blade. So yeah. Hard to hold on to. Like, it wanted to keep moving in my hands as I was working the wood, steel. I may want to get myself a hammer with a nicer shaped wooden handle rather than this weird rubbery whatever. But I don't know. East Wing is not a bad brand at all. It's just I'm not a huge fan of their 4-pound hammer. And it's also starting to fall apart. What steel should we use for the San Mai, to get the San Mai effect? This is my collection of metal. I have a decent amount. Have this piece of high carbon steel. It doesn't etch very dark though. Like it's more of a lighter steel, which I think it'd look cool if we had a darker for the edge to make it look like a carbon edge. Honestly, what we could do is take cable wire, smash it, forge it all together, smash it into a bar, and put that in the middle to give it like a cable wire San Mai. But I don't think that would count as a San Mai blade anymore, and that would be way too much work. But I actually should just use this. This is a part of a, I believe, a skid steer dirt bucket. Like, this is the actual blade that cuts into the dirt. So I think we should use this piece. Once we figure out the size of our billet, once we forge it out and then cut it in half, we'll cut a piece the same, this size, out of that stuff, and forge that together. And hopefully nothing goes wrong. My one propane tank is gonna run out pretty soon, so good thing I have two. It'd be kind of cool to do a live stream where I can actually, like, people can like pay for like super chat or super stickers or whatever they're called. I don't know. I want to get to that point where I can do that, because I think it would be ridiculously kind of fun. Come on. I don't know if you can see this. Actually, you can. 797 subscribers. Scrader Jim 226 just came across your channel and watched some of your videos. Good work, man. Thanks, Scrader. I appreciate that. Three subscribers left, yes. We got 3 people to go, and we'll make it to 800 subscribers, which would be awesome. I'm trying to get to 1,000 this year, so I'll probably do a lot more live streams. I got about 57 yesterday when I did the live stream, so it's definitely possible. Just got into blacksmithing myself and make that 798 subscribers. Thank you very much. Yes, blacksmithing is incredibly fun. I've been doing it for a few years, like 2 or 3, I think, probably 3, but I've not actually really been doing much of it until this year. This year I got my shop, so okay, I gotta change the propane tanks, it's running out. when it's got stuff in it, especially Damascus, but I had to. It should have set it back basically any to change the tanks out. I shouldn't have to change the propane tanks again because that's a completely full tank. So yeah, that's a completely full tank. It should last a few hours of running the forge. Putting your furnace on your forge on your furnace on a wooden stump is great until you start getting to Damascus, where your forge has to be a lot hotter as it wants to catch on fire. So I have to keep dousing it with water to make it not on fire anymore. There's never actually any flame, but it's smoldering, so there's like coals and like burning back. Take this and grind the sides out, because I want to make sure it's actually welded. Not terribly super long. And also, last time I did this, I put sparks embedded in my screen, my phone screen. So we're gonna put you up here where the sparks can't reach you because I don't want to burn my screen again. Okay, we'll see you later, skater. Thanks for joining on the stream. Well, whoops. Yeah, that was completely unintentional. Let's not do that again. Let's put that inside. So I am seeing some delaminations in this billet, but it's not a lost cause. There is still hope. By the way, 2 more subscribers and we'll make it to 800. So there's plenty of you guys on there. Like 2 people subscribe and we'll make it to 800 subscribers. Here, let me show you guys. You can see, let me get something I can point with. Along here, ow, that's hot. There's lines where I can see the layers. So like there's one right there. There's some lines over here. And then there's numerous lines along here. I want to see if those are just surface. Like if those are just surface grind, like surface delams from the surface, because I know sometimes the edges will get all wibbly, like bad and not very nice. So I'm gonna grind a little bit into those and see if they get removed. If not, then we're gonna have to, I don't know. I've already like tried to forge weld this thing like 5 times, so who knows what's actually gonna, I don't know what we're gonna do if it's not surface. I'm going to turn this thing off for now. You can see what I was talking about sorta in there, how like it's melted the brick and the walls, the borax. So I guess we got a decent bit more grinding to do. How fun. But yeah, like I said, if this is not surface delams, I don't know what to do. We may have to scrap the billet, which would obviously not be very nice. Oh yeah, that's very hot still. Wonder how hot. I toasted it. Anyways, let's keep grinding on this side, see if we can get those delaminations ground out. If not, like if we don't get them out, the cracks that go into it, the more I forge it, the further in those cracks are gonna end up working their way. But if I can grind it out, there should be less weak spots. So that's what we're gonna have to try to do, or this whole project will be a waste, which I hope it doesn't end up being that. Yes. 2 subscribers till 800 subscribers, which will be the new record for my channel. So yes, if you're on the stream right now, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe, because we are getting super close to 1,000 subscribers and I'm trying to get there this year. Okay, y'all. Do you see the problem I'm seeing? Very much individual layers. This is... I'm almost certain you're not supposed to be able to see those. Like, pretty certain. How hot is that? Not very hot. I don't think you're supposed to be able to see the layers. Then again, I've not done a large amount of Damascus in my life. I guess we'll go on to just see what the rest of the sides look like. Because so far, this is not looking good. This is looking actually really bad. And I hope that all the work we put into this billet has not gone to waste. Because that would be ridiculously sad. I bought this steel too, so that would also be sad. Let's clean up the rest of the sides. we can find. One more side to clean up, y'all. That's heavy. You know, I stuck this in here when it was still glowing hot, and now the vise is super hot. Y'all are a quiet bunch today. Not saying much. Just changed your profile. Yeah, that looks like a nice profile, Ryan. debris clean off this side. Let me get closer. Actually, I'm gonna bring you to my anvil. This is what we're working with. It is 18 layer Damascus steel. And I really don't know if it's welded together or not. What do you think, chat? Should we just put it back in the forge and just start smashing it? See if anything tears apart? Repositioning the camera. Okay. This is what we've got. And I think we're just gonna take it, stick it back in the forge and start smashing it. Because I can't tell, I don't know. It may be welded together properly. But then again, it may not be welded together properly. I just can't tell, I don't know. I wish you could see better on the live streams what this looked like. And if you guys were like professional blacksmith peoples, you could tell me what I was doing. But I have no idea what I'm doing. I know you guys have seen a lot of grinding, but we do got to do a bit more, sadly. Oh look, guys, we hit 800 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Actually, I don't know if that's a hand symbol or not, so I'm not gonna do that. But yes, thank you guys. We finally hit 800 subscribers. This live stream's doing slightly slow. 2,780 minutes. Take on 801. Thank you very much. Whoa. Guys, immediately when I said that, we're at 803 now. Thank y'all so much. We gotta do more grinding. I see delaminations in here. I'm just really hoping they're surface. And I'm hoping I can grind through them and grind deeper, because I'm hoping they're just right at the edge, because I know sometimes at the edges it'll move around a little bit when you're forging, and it'll kind of, you know, pop apart, go together. I hope it's at the edge. I hope. Okay, I can tell one thing already. I can cut it in two. It's easier. Oh, like cut it in half and forge them out separately? Is that what you mean, Ryan? Like take the billet, cut it in half, and then forge them out as two separate pieces? I would like to know if that's what you mean, because if that is, it's actually a pretty smart idea and I might do that. Actually, you know what? Does anybody have any objections to that? I'm making a San Mai. I'm making a San Mai type blade, maybe a chef knife, Bowie knife, some sort of knife. But is there anything wrong? If you don't know what a San Mai is, that's basically where you take two pieces of steel. You take a piece of steel, you cut it in half, put two pieces of steel on. Cut it in half and put it side by side, but then put another piece of carbon steel in between the two, so that way you have a just pure carbon steel blade. This one, so basically that'll give me the random pattern Damascus on the very edge, on the sides of the blade, with a carbon steel blade in the center. Is there any objections out there amongst you guys to why I should not cut this in half and forge it out as two separate pieces? I'm trying to do a random pattern Damascus. This is 18 layers. I don't know if that affects anything, but yeah. I think I'm gonna do that unless if there's any objections. And yes, there are some delaminations that are going way too deep in the billet. So if I cut it in half, there's only half the billet to heat up, making it easier to forge. So might not be a bad idea. Go ahead. Okay, we're gonna do that then. Thank you, Ryan, for that suggestion. We might go through a couple of wheels, as I don't have any cutoff wheels big enough. I wish I had a bandsaw that could do this type of thing. Yes. We're gonna cut it in half. Should probably find where half is. .3, 2.25. That's a 2. That's not 2.15. Yep, that's what I thought. Let's cut this. Hello, Christopher Kramer. Hello, Royan T. Good to see you both on the stream. That's not bad. That's not bad. For anybody that doesn't know what's going on, we are cutting this billet in half, as it's big, too big, and I'm not getting proper forge welds, which is obviously a bad thing. Actually a little bit scared to see what we're gonna find when we cut this in half. See what's on the inside of this billet. Okay, let's slice it in half. Very well. That's fine, I need to turn it around anyway. This is a shorten my angle grinder cord. I am so close to cutting that through. I don't know if I can reach with the grinder. There we go, y'all. There's half number 1. I don't know about you, but this looks like a pretty solid piece on the inside. Yeah, this looks pretty solid on the inside. I think. I could be wrong, but I think. Okay, that's actually relieving. That is still hot, probably. Let's go stick this back in the forge and forge this one out to shape. Okay, Brian, thank you so much for that suggestion. I think you made it a lot easier on me. Gotta turn the forge back on. Almost the entire way. So this is gonna be another longer wait before we can actually start forging again. But I do want to take this to the belt grinder and clean up the end a little bit. While we're waiting for that to do what it's supposed to do, while we're waiting for the forge to heat up, let's take this and clean it up so that it looks nice. The forge is not completely cold, so it shouldn't take as long as last time. Nor are the billets. That looks real, like actually good. joining the tree. Back in 30 minutes? Okay, we'll see you later, Ryan. Thanks for being on the stream. That is still super, super hot. here's our two halves of Damascus. Here's our first 18-layer Damascus billet that we cut in half, and here is the second half. It, as far as I can tell, looks to be welded together, and our forge is now hot enough. Just stick that back in the forge again, so regrettably it will take a little bit to heat up. Since we had it out of the forge for so long. But after grinding it down and heating it up, I think there's a lot more hope for it. Gonna plug the phone in that's doing the live stream before it dies. Because obviously that would not be good. How is the stream doing? Oh. Stream's doing pretty good. Chat messages and reactions. 2.1 thousand reactions. Hello and hello back to China. Thank you for being on the stream. Thank you for joining the stream, actually. That billet, once it gets hot, MNK, yes. I see you said you. What would you like? What do you want? MNK-YR. Hello. Thank you for joining the stream. Where are my tongs? Obviously, we just cut our billet in half. But here is half the billet. This is just 18 layers of alternating 1084 and 1520 steels. That's basically just what that is. Nothing more, nothing less. Hello, I see somebody said hi, but your name isn't like Chinese or something, so I cannot read that. Bro, it was a fly. Steve Jobs? Okay. Thank you for joining the stream. MNK, I think I'm missing something. Thinking emoji, ear, lips, not, question mark. I think I'm missing something. What do you mean? Wait. 8. How did that happen? Picked up. For like the first hour, it was about like 10, 20, 30 people. So it's definitely picked up some. It's a little bit odd. I heard that. Oh, wrong glasses. I heard that 12 to 2 was the best time for live streaming on YouTube, but it's like about 2 o'clock now, and now the thing has gone up. You $70, $1,300. I still don't understand what you made there. I cannot read emojis very well. Wait, angel emoji, cowboy emoji, 2 worker guys emojis. And then 70, and then 1,300. Now that we have a smaller billet to work with, let's try to do yet another forge welding session. Is anybody still on the stream from the beginning? Like from when I started it at 12:20. Laughing face emoji, you, ear emoji, lips emoji, not. Does that mean LOL, you hear and speak not? I don't know, I'm really bad at reading emojis. Pencil on paper 103. I don't know. I am very bad at reading emojis. That's really hot. This brick of steel is still super hot. Oh, for all of you who do not know, what I just put on there was flux. It was actually just borax. It basically puts a glassy layer on the outside of the metal so that no oxygen can get in between the layers. Because just in case there are layers that are still exposed, I need to put that on there. Where's my hammer? We'll work on this one next time. Or actually, this time, depending if we get this one done first. If we get it done fast. Likely we will not. I'm just wearing this jacket because all the forge scale that flies off, especially when I'm actually doing the forge welding, which I've been trying to get these billets to stick together. Especially when I'm doing forge welding, there's a lot of scale that flies everywhere, and it's just super hot, so I put the jacket on. My log keeps catching on fire. I have to keep splashing it with water or it's going to keep burning up. Comment down in the chat, when were you guys on? When did you guys join the stream? Have you been on for a while, like 10 minutes? Have you been on for a long time, like an hour? Or a medium long time, like 30 minutes? Or have you been on for like 5 seconds? This thing's heating up way faster being a smaller billet like that. I just need to make sure it's heated up all the way in the inside and then gonna draw it out and forge it into shape. Basically what we're doing is a San Mai. I don't know there's a lot of new people on the stream now. So what we're gonna do is a San Mai, which is basically just a billet that we forge out, cut in half, restack back on top of each other like that. But in between the two layers we're gonna put a carbon steel leg in between so that it basically, when you grind it down, you have a solid color edge, and it looks pretty cool. And then K, car question mark? I do not have a car, no. I use the family car, which we have multiple, but I'm only 18 years old. Actually, how old would you guys guess me to be if you did not know that if I did not just tell you that I was 18? Like, what would you guess my age to be? All the way through, not just on the surface, but all the way through. questions, go ahead and ask them. Definitely got the time while we're waiting. If you could like the stream, that would help. That would kind of like help get it spread out to more people. If you want to do that, it's free. It's easy to do. I think if you double tap on the screen, it'll like the stream. But if not, you can push on the top of, like the very top row of text and stuff, and then select like stream there. I think. I could be mistaken, but I believe that's how it works. Look at the floor around the anvil. There's so much stuff on the floor. Scale and borax and a lot of stuff. Is it rude to listen to things with earbuds while you're on a live stream? If it is, you guys can tell me. I have no doubt you will definitely tell me if I'm doing something bad. Music, like with words that you guys like to listen to. What's something you guys would recommend? I can't play this out loud because copyright reasons. I don't want to accidentally play something that's been copyrighted. This phone is really slow. I think the billet is getting close, but I'm going to start some music to listen to. Do any of you guys listen to NF, like the artist, the song artist, the rapper on Spotify? Just NF. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like it. Okay, let's do this. Let's forge this out. I think it's forge welded proper, like enough, because that's like the 6th round of forge welding, but this time I cut it in half. Let's work on actually forging out into a flat bar, so then we can take the other billet, forge that one out, and then we can make our, stack up on top and make our San Mai Damascus. Stump that the forge is on keeps catching on fire. Turning an old nail into 2 dice. Yes, MNK. That is a video I made a long time ago. That was a little bit embarrassing to watch. Definitely very cringy. The edits in that one. It was like, that one is my second video or third video, I can't remember. Yeah, I don't ever watch that one, it's embarrassing. Marukio, hello, thanks for joining the stream, what's up? Hey Ryan, see you back on the stream. We've got update from when you left. We've got it back in the forge. It's been heating up in the forge. And I think it's welded together properly. I think we're done with all those problems. I could be wrong, but I think we've got done with all those problems. But yeah, it's in there. Now we're working on drawing it out. It doesn't look much different since when you left. But yeah, we're back. What problems? Oh, we're having a little bit of problems with the forge welding, the delaminations. So, like you suggested, I cut it in half, cleaned it up, and reforged welded it. And I think we may have solved all the problems. Hobby Rich, hello, thanks for joining the stream. What's up? Do I have a machine to crush? No. No, I do not. I do not have a forge press to crush this steel. Although, I am thinking about building one. I would like to build one by the end of this year. So have one built by the end of this year. And then K, it's 9:26 over by you? No. 9:26 p.m. Okay, yeah. You must live somewhere around Germany, I would assume. I think I recognize you from a different stream. I could be wrong, but I think I remember you. I could be wrong. Put a little thumbs up in the chat or something if this is the first time you've seen my channel. I'm interested to see how many of you guys are new. done most of the like splattery forging. The forging that throws most of the scales, like the forge welding stuff. We're done with most of that stuff. Sorry, the jacket. And it's way too hot for a jacket here. About an hour, because it's taking a little bit of time to heat them in the forge due to the size. I'm gonna assume I can get it crushed out in an hour. I could be wrong, but I think I can get it crushed out in an hour. I'd like to get at least this one side done, even if I can't get both sides done today. Because here's our other Damascus billet, the other half of the billet, because it was twice as long. 18 layers, alternating 1084 and 1520. We're going to take this and then the other one that's in the forge right now, stack them on top of each other, put carbon steel in between, like high carbon steel, just carbon steel in between the middle, and when we dredge it out, it's going to be a San Mai, which basically will have Damascus on the sides of the blade, but then the actual edge itself will be just a solid color steel, which will look cool. And actually, if I remember, Brian was the one who mentioned that it could have been far away forge, but somebody did that. May have just popped the seam on the corner right there. Obviously, if we did pop the seam, we want to get that quick. That's not good. back up to heat treating. Gotta get back up to heat treating temperatures. I think when I did that, like, forging, pushing on the corners a little bit to try to, because it was kind of going off a little bit unsquared, trying to square it back up again, I think I put too much stress on those welds, and I saw at least the top portion of one of the top layers started to pop apart. So I'm gonna stick it back together and heat it back up to quench other temperatures and smash it back down again. Hopefully not lose or ruin anything. Maybe blacksmithing. Notepad with pencil on it. Thumbs up emoji and prayer hands emoji. Burn it 30 minutes without putting it out. The stone? Why 30 minutes? Do you want to see it? Okay. Well, what time is it right now? 2:30? Okay. At 3, we'll check it again. No promises. If it starts getting, I don't know. This is the only stand I have for it right now. And if it burns up, Here, let me show you guys what it looks like, actually. I assume you're talking about the stump. You can see it's burnt in all along here. Because right here is just way too hot. That won't take very long. Yeah, I'm gonna put something metal under there. So Faraway Forge, which is a guy who's been on my live streams a few times, recommended a no, not Faraway Forge. Highland Ironworks. Highland Ironworks has recommended a like steel table, which I'm gonna get. And oh yeah, I could just stick bricks under it. That's not a bad idea. I'm probably gonna get a steel table and just sit it on the steel table. I'm just afraid that it's gonna warp the table to like thin steel. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. I kind of want to edge this to make sure I didn't do anything wrong. Imagine if I put like the same steels together. If I ordered it and accidentally got swapped out which steels were which, and accidentally put like all 1084, all 5920 steels in here. Do you know how annoying that would be? Okay, off and on while we're forging this, I'm going to clean this side up, or this side, or any side, and then we're going to etch it in the, we're going to test etch it, because I really want to see, and I really hope we didn't do anything wrong. gotta make sure I got that delay amount. This will not take very long. Just a little bit of. Try to make it longer. You think it's good? Try to do this every 10 minutes. Wait, what do you mean? Like grind off the sides or forge it or re-weld it? Nawagi Jewelers. Good work. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining the stream. I see your username says Jewelers on it, so I'm wondering, I'm assuming you make jewelry? What type of jewelry do you make? I'd be interested to know. Try to burn it every 10 minutes. Are you talking about the stump? Or are you talking about... It's currently smoking at the moment. Burn it every 10 minutes and then turn it off? Why would I do that? It's a little warm in here, y'all. It's dangerous. Turn it off. The wood can have fire. Wait, like turn the forge off or put the fire out of the wood? Camera's over here. It popped apart because it got too cold while I was forging it. I guess let's just make sure I never do that. Hose is kind of hot. I just need to make, just be careful. Yes, Ryan, I will definitely try to be careful. Absolutely. Over 10,000 views for this live stream. Perfect. That's very nice. That would be great. I'm trying to get it to 1,000 subscribers this year. I'm at 800 and however much. I'm at 800 subscribers right now. There's just 200 subscribers to go. If I know it's possible to get to 1,000 this year. That's my goal. I have 4 months to get all the way up to 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to know what I do, I forge. I'm a knife smith. I'm not necessarily a full-time. I'm not full-time anything yet. I should fix that. I'm a knife smith, but a knife smith still does blacksmithing, so at least a knife smith should do blacksmithing. I do forge my knives, all of them, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I ever just do stock removal. I'm pretty sure I always forge them. And then I make the knife. So I'm more of a knife smith than a blacksmith, but I still do blacksmithing. And that's basically what I do. I just forge my blades and make knives out of them. I don't do much, like, on random blacksmithing jobs, but I do some, not very much. So yeah, if you want to see that type of content, then you can just go to my channel and you can see what I do. If you like it, you can definitely subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Again, like I said, I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers this year. Something's happening. Not sure if there's just the steel is folding over in that spot or if it's delaminating again. But we guess it goes. This is not even a grinding wheel. That's just a cutoff wheel. I should not be using that. Take care of this really quickly and put it right back in the forge. Grind a little bit off this side. have a bad feeling that it may be wanting to split in half on me. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can never do a Damascus without something happening. Then again, I've only ever done Damascus 3 times, so can't exactly say that. Am I just trying to move it too fast or too aggressively? Or from what you guys can see, why do you think it's like, I don't know a ton about making Damascus. This is only my 3rd attempt. Definitely the most layers. Why do you guys think it's coming apart? I have no idea. It looked like it was coming apart in the middle, which is not okay. If anyone has any advice, I'll definitely take it. I really don't want this project to fail. That would be incredibly sad. Try to stick it back together. I have no idea. No, I do have some idea, but I don't have much idea of what I'm doing. Okay. Let's go. Clean this up. This is the other half of the billet that we're working on right now. Let's go clean this up a little bit and like test etch it. Because I want to, while we're waiting for that thing to forge, you know. Since we have time, I'll wait for that thing to get up to forge rolling temperatures again. Where am I living? In the city? I actually don't live in the city. I assume you're talking to me, Ryan? I do not live in the city. I live out in the country. Something around Huntington. So Okay. Should be forge welding temperatures ready. In theory. Oh, a lot of people dropped off the stream. I guess watching me grind isn't very fun. I may actually leave it in there for just a little bit longer. I have a really bad eye when it comes to knowing the heat of steel. I don't know. Okay, let's see what this does when I test it. If I made this wrong, if I made it out of the wrong steels, I will not be happy. I feel like with my luck, that's gonna happen though. Let me get the ferric chloride. Ammonia. This stuff stinks. Basically, it takes the oils off or something like that. It may take a little bit to actually see the color difference between the two steels. Supposedly the steels I used was 1084 and 15 and 20, which I think are both, the 1084 is the dark steel, and the 15 and 20 should be a light steel as it has nickel in it. It should not react to the edge. I think it's doing something. I think it all gets dark at first, so we're going to have to wipe it off, but I want to make sure the edge is on the other one, on the 1084 just enough so that when I do wipe it off, it will stay on 1084 and come off the 15 and 20 so that you guys can see the design, which is just a bunch of layers, that's all it is. Okay. You know, what are you going to do with this? Yes, I'm going to turn it into either like a chef knife or a Bowie knife or... Well, no, not really. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with it. But I'm going to turn it into whatever blade ends up popping into my head when I forge it out to shape. But right now I'm just trying to get the Damascus side done. Can't exactly see it yet. Tessa Creates, hello, how are you? Thanks for joining our stream. Okay.
I hope ferric chloride won't eat plastic, will it? Because my clamp is slightly dipped in the mixture.
Before something bad happens, let's forge this up. Again, those welds are. Andrew Landis, I'm trying to do both. The welds keep popping on me, which is not good, so I'm trying to forge it out. And yes, the stump my forge is on is... Yes, the stump my forge is on is catching on fire. Water it down so it does not burn away all the way. Andrew Landis, how long will that take to draw out? Well, I was guesstimating an hour, but I was very wrong. So I have no idea, especially if I have to keep welding it back together. I don't know how long it's going to take. Probably should get a hose. You'd be right, I probably should. Well, it's out. For now, at least most of the way.
fellas. But that looks like it kind of etched the same. That did not do what I was expecting it to. If this is all the same steel and I marked it wrong and used the same steel, that would be really annoying. I guess if it's the same steel, I should stop working on it because that would be a waste of time and money. How are we going to find that out? So, these are the steels I used from the same pack. These are the 1084s. These are 15 and 20. From the same exact packs. That's what pack I used these from. I'm going to take them. Clean them up. I don't know what I did. And I will have just wasted a chunk of money and a big chunk of time. A bigger hammer. So it's pretty small. I have this one, but it's just a little bit heavy to yield down here. What I actually need is a press, but I don't have one. I really hope those two steels etch differently, because if they don't, I got scammed. only been on for 170 minutes. About 3 hours. Use your shoulder to swing, not your arm. Keep it bent and hinge at the shoulder. Wait. That actually might work. I'm going to try that, Andrew. Also, the head is about to come off of this hammer. He's doing some pretty good brand. It's just, I don't know, this hammer seems to be coming apart for some reason. It's a 4-pound hammer. Worked way better already? Perfect. I will attempt that technique, and that way I can use a heavier hammer. Wilfred, what kind of anvil is this? It's an anvil by... So it's a Vevor cast iron anvil. It's basically the cheapest thing you can get. I got it with like $100 anvil off of Amazon. So, Wilfred, that's also probably a problem. Yeah. Andrew, so with this anvil being cast iron, a cheap anvil, not a lot of rebound. So I'm just gonna let it drop and keep it steady. Not a lot of rebound on this type of anvil. And when I hit the steel, it kind of absorbs all the shock. I need to get myself a steel top anvil. Yeah. I need to get myself a steel top anvil, but you see, they jump from like $100 Amazon anvils to like $2,000 to like $1,000 Stanley anvils. And like, I could, but I really don't want to afford a $1,000 anvil. Blacksmith, you're giving some really good tips. So, like, are you a blacksmith? I would assume so. You just watch a lot of Forged in Fire? Okay, yeah. Definitely great. I've watched a lot of Forged in Fire. Not a massive amount, but I have. Ryan, sorry, I was AFK. You're fine, Ryan. Hey, AFK means you're still on the stream, so it still counts for me. Appreciate it, bro. Yes, Ryan, just like when you left, we're still fighting D-lands. I keep forging and it keeps popping apart. Wilfred, I have a cast steel Vevor from Harbor Freight. It was $133. 66 pounds might be a decent upgrade for not too expensive. Andrew, I've looked into it, but decided I couldn't justify the cost of the equipment for a hobby. I do make knives by stock removal. Okay, that's cool. You just do stock removal, that's fun. And sharpen them as a side business. Okay, sharpening knives is a cool side business. Definitely a lot of people out there that don't really know how to sharpen their knives very well. This is actually a hobby of mine, so blacksmithing as itself is more of a hobby business than anything. So, although I would love to turn it into a full-time actual job. So far, if you all want to hear like numbers and stuff, I've made about $1,000 off of knife sales. Not horrible, but yeah, I've been making knives for 3 years. I've only started selling knives like, I start. But, you know, gotta start somewhere. Make co-hooks and little trinkets to sell at farmers markets to generate some income. Yes, actually I have done that. So more of the co-hooks. I made some like railroad spike style co-hooks. And I have gone to a farmers market, which turned out pretty well, but it was, I set up my forge and everything there. It was just a lot of work though. I just started not too long ago. I hope to get your level. Your knives are pretty. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Wilfred. I appreciate that. It is raining. Wait, right. Done. This is what it was. Definitely a lot smaller. Now I'm wondering, should I square this out and leave it about this size so that I can work this one out later and put them together and then do the San Mai, while it's still this thick, or should I forge it out thinner? I'm not 100% sure. Because I'm gonna make this a San Mai. Kind of thing. I'm going to use this, which is a broken blade from the dirt bucket attachment for a skid steer. So I had a friend gave me this, so these are really, really good steel. I'm going to use this for the San Mai effect in the middle to give you a solid carbon steel blade. Okay, let's see how these two steels etched. Okay, first impression. Not good. This. Okay. Guys, we may have a problem. There's not a lot of color difference. This is supposed to be 5920. This is supposed to be 1084. Did they sell me the wrong steel?
completely different set. So, let's clean up the end of one of this and see if it edges, because this should not edge. Like, at all. It's 5920, it has nickel in it, it should not edge. Imagine I probably just ordered the wrong thing and I just like welded, put all this time into welding them together. Both high carbon. I'll probably, Andrew, I'll probably just, Diego Emiraz, hello, thanks for joining the stream. Andrew, probably what I'll do is take it and stick them in a baking soda solution, which will neutralize it faster. Okay, this is 15 at 20. It should not edge. If it edges, something horrible is going on. Yeah. This is really bad, guys. Do you see much color difference there between the two etches? They look right the same. Andrew, no, 15 and 20 is not stainless. It is, and it is still a steel, it's still carbon steel, but it has nickel added into it so that it won't etch. Okay, I'm just really hoping I'm doing something horribly wrong with the etching. So I'm gonna do some look up and ask around with some people. From Argentina, okay, that's cool. Diego. Out. Did enough? I think. Let me normalize it real quick. Just to be safe. Okay. Andrew, I'm almost certain 15 and 20 is not stainless. Okay, Shirley. Both bars of 15 and 20. They did not send me the wrong stuff and I did not order the wrong stuff. But, as you can see, it's also etching in the ferric chloride. So, I'm just hoping that I'm doing something wrong with the etch and this is not a bad thing. I have very low hopes, but oh yeah, by the way, we're about to end stream, likely. If you guys want to say anything or have anything you wanted to say before I leave the stream, go ahead, fire off.
I will say, we got 13,000 views on this stream though. That's pretty good. It's not stainless steel like Noria. Okay. That's what I thought. I wasn't 100% certain, but that's what I thought. Okay. So, yep, we're working on that. 18 layers condensed down into 18 layers condensed down to about that thick, and then we'll stack them on top of each other with a decently thick piece of carbon steel in between the two layers, and then squish it down. MNKYR, hello again. Good to see you. We're about to end stream pretty soon. Oh wait, I should wait and end the stream at 9 minutes, because if I do that, it'll be a 200-minute stream. Because we're at 191 minutes. That would be sad to end it now. Let's wait. I'll end the stream at 9 minutes, okay, y'all? Unless if I get caught up and we start working more, but like, it'd be sad to end it right before 200 minutes. Wow, that is a lot of heat emanating off of that thing. I can feel it. Okay, this is half the billet. Now it's better. Hey, Ryan. This is half the billet we were working on. This is the other half. Here, let me get you out. Here's what we've been working on. Here's the other half of the billet. I tried to test etch it, but it may end up being the same steel, which is really bad. Here's the other half of the billet. And we got this one forged out to about that thick. However thick that is. About that thick. Looks like 1/3 inch. We're gonna forge this one out the same later. And then we're gonna take a piece of this carbon steel blade, high carbon steel dirt bucket, skid steer dirt bucket blade, and stick it between the two layers after grinding them up and cleaning them for a total of a 37 layer Damascus steel San Mai. For a 37 layer Damascus steel San Mai. Which I think it'll look cool. But if we ended up using the same exact steels for if this is all the same steel and not actually 1095 and 15920 like it was advertised, I am gonna be not at all happy. Putting you back in the stand. You think 100 layers is impossible? Yeah, Ryan. That would be super, super hard. This is 18. If I were to stack it up, I think 5 times. It was like almost, I think if I were to stick it up 6 times, it would be just over 100 layers. So that's like 6 times taller than this. But I'd probably have to take it, forge it out, stack it again, forge it out, stack it, and all that stuff. 100 layers would be really hard by hand. Obviously with a press, you could get as many layers as you feel like. But as you can see, this, yeah, y'all, look at this. This is 1084
This is 5920. They're etching about the same. This is the thin one. So I wonder if this 1080, no, 50N20 is not supposed to etch. I don't understand what's happening. Look, these are both from different orders. These are both 5920 steels, which have nickel in them, so they're not supposed to etch. I think. Now, wait. Okay. Before we die of regret for not doing research beforehand, it may get dark, but then you have to sand the oxides off the top of the 15N20. And then it may only show up once it actually gets slightly deep, because then you stop sanding off the other one, you just sand off the top one. So maybe that's the problem. And maybe we just okay, so what I'm actually going to do is we are going to sand this down to a much finer grit. I know it's not forging, but y'all are welcome to stay and watch. We're gonna try and sand this thing down to 1000 grit. Wrap it around a piece of wood. And then this oil, I think what it does, I mean, it's just vegetable oil. Actually, it's canola oil, I think. I think what this oil does is just, it keeps the sandpaper from coming off, I believe. Anyways. What we're gonna do is sand it 2000 grit finish. Good luck. Thank you, Andrew. I definitely need it. My table is not very stable, as you can see. I need to fix that. You know, I've only really done much just like forging. I've only really done forging on live streams. Never done anything much else other than just regular, just forging. So I wonder if anyone's interested in watching like this and just listening to me continuously talk. Not sure if I'd be too interested, but I wonder if there are some people. You know what I should do, rather than being dumb? I should get the grinder. from up here. Because this is my old grinder. I was hoping to permanently retire this thing for life. But I keep having need for it. This is my lovely 4x36 grinder. What is this? So I'm going to use this and get the majority of the sanding done with an electric sander, or actually a belt grinder. I don't know if this thing counts as a belt grinder though. This is what I've used for a long time until I got my new grinder, the 2x72 broad bit grinder. This thing should not exist right here, but it does. Also, the reason I'm using this instead of the big broad bit grinder is because I have belts for this one. I really don't have very many belts for that one, and the finest the belts on that one go are like 220. Now, the question is, where did I put it? Here it is. Faster. Let's move up to the next group. This belt grinder doesn't move very fast. Here it is. Honestly, before I do much more on that Damascus, I really need to see if I didn't just use the wrong steels. We may have a problem. While trying to test etch this, there didn't seem to be any difference between the layers.
I'm wondering if the company sent me the same steel rather than sending me both 1084 and 5920, or if I just have absolutely no idea what I'm doing and I'm completely etching it wrong. So I'm getting it sanded down to 1000 grit sand finish, and then I'm going to try to do some etching. So there may be problems, but there may not be. We'll find out soon. 600 grit. Go up to this one next. People are dropping off the stream. Not very many people left. This is a pretty boring process. So I don't have any bad feelings against you if you leave, but make sure to leave with liking the stream if you do. Helps me and it causes me that. There we go. $800. Ryan, you say I have an idea. What's your idea? I think the size is small. Do you have a specific type of knife you're thinking of? I'm on Facebook, so you can do that through Facebook. I don't know what you mean by nail, Ryan. You don't have more ideas? Well, a knife holder's not a bad idea. 1000 grit polish. It's not exactly a polish, but you know. Now, let's see. Just using ammonia, try to get the grease off of this blade. Which I don't think there should be any grease on it, but you know, you never know. Okay. Okay, I am going to work on that and see what happens. But now we're in the stage where it's mostly just waiting, and I can't really be doing anything, like, I won't be doing anything that you guys will find interesting. So, there we go. I'm going to stop the stream. Okay, just like last stream, I'll give you some stats for how well the stream did, if you want to see. Stream got 13,000 views. Had a peak of viewers around 130, and we got 2,300 live chat messages and reactions. That was pretty good. And we've made it 813 subscribers. We had considerably less than that when we started. So, thanks a lot. I'm going to shut the stream off, and I'll see you later. Have a great rest of your day, y'all.